whatever. That's from my dad.
Yeah. So she tells me, yeah, that's a Pittsburgh term or Pennsylvania term.
It is.
Southwestern Pennsylvania.
Southwest.
Mm-hmm. Okay, we should be live.
Okay.
No yawning. We should have made you a
No, I
coffee.
know. You should have. You still can.
I can. Do you want a coffee?
Yeah, why don't you grab me a coffee? Put it in a mug. That's a Pittsburgh term or
You're live.
Yeah, we're live?
Yep.
Oh, good. So we're on right now. We're live on YouTube. So that's great. What time is it? Yeah, so it's 6 o'clock. So we'll let people start climbing on here, see what we got.
Wow, there's already 9 people.
Oh, wow. Oh, they're seeing, there's a delay to this, right?
Yes.
So, let's see.
Meredith says you guys are on.
Hey, Meredith, how are you? I'm seeing some of the people that are on. I'll say hello.
Yeah.
To. Hey, Daniel. Hey, Dan, you better get some more restaurants lit up in DC. William is killing it up there. I think he signed up 5 or something in the last 4 or 5 days, last week. So I need you to kick it. Hey, Walter, how are you? Art, what's happening, dude? Let's see. Iris is on. How you doing, buddy? Oh, you gonna be moving out to Vegas, Daniel? That's good. Dwayne, how are you doing? Rodney Bush. Dwayne's in Nashville. Rodney's in Nashville. April, how are you? Lloyd. So as we're starting to get some of these people on, we'll start giving it another few minutes so we can cover all this stuff. Mr. World Famous. Atlanta. We got to get up to Atlanta market. There's a lot of new stuff going on in Atlanta from restaurants. Hooters is doing like a wing stop in Atlanta. I think they have 3 locations up right now. They're closing all their other locations. Yeah. Stephen Matthews, how are you? James Jones, what's up? How you doing? Okay.
James Jones in Louisville.
Yeah, I know. Jones has knocked out about 10 restaurants in Louisville by himself. That's pretty good. So let's get started. We got a lot of stuff to cover with everybody as we're starting to move the market, and I'm going to introduce one of our newest people to help us build this company, and I'll introduce him in a minute. But I want to give you guys kind of a quick update on a few things. So Nashville is moving along. We got over 100 menus up right now. The big thing is to bring on more drivers and get the app out there. So you need to share the consumer app out there to get it live in the market for any of you that are there. We're going to start putting some heat on that market probably next week, helping grow the driver base and the consumer base there. And we'll be talking about how we're going to do some of that here shortly. So Nashville is a big presence for us right now. It's our first market. We've got a number of other markets we can start looking at, but I don't want to lose sight of making sure we do Nashville right. So the most important thing is to build more consistency with more restaurants, more drivers, and more pickups and stuff like and deliveries. So that's going to be a focus for us starting next week. A couple of other things that are good. We're really close to doing a deal with a chain of ghost restaurants. Principally, they're operated in Canada. And if we put the deal together, we will be in Canada with them. And then also, we're working on the US with them. Their goal is in the United States throughout 2021, I think, is to have 300 to 500 ghost kitchens in the United States. And they're going to keep expanding into the Canadian marketplace beyond the 24 that they have now. So those are pretty important messages of where the company's going. One of the things also I want to talk to you guys about, and you'll see it in a presentation tonight, but we're going to talk about referral marketing, influencer marketing, some other forms of training that are going to get covered. So what I'd like to do is introduce our newest player, who I've gotten to know pretty well over the last couple, 3-4 weeks. And the guy's a superstar. And not only is he a superstar in business, but he's also a superstar athlete. Anyway, it's Tony Swantec. Tony was a former pro tennis player, and he's now a pickleball player. Happens to be a pretty darn good one. But more importantly, on a business side, he is a co-founder of a company called My Town to Go Deliveries. Is still in the business. He merged his company with delivery.com, and we had the opportunity to talk and meet and jump on board with the company. He is outside the company itself. He's going to lead the field, because that's the biggest challenge we have, is to motivate the field, start building momentum back in the company, get tens of thousands of drivers and influencers on board. And Tony has proven that time and time again in his career to be able to build. And he's going to be a great addition. So he's going to be the chief marketer, and we're going to talk about the new marketer program. I know we have one up, but since Tony's been here and a few other people that we've talked to, we've redesigned that program to be really actually on steroids. And I think you guys are going to love the program that we put together on that. We're going to talk about that tonight a little bit. But I can't say enough about Tony. His background in delivery, he's been in it 4 or 5 years. He started his company from scratch, so he knows every turn of the business. There's nothing he doesn't know. And probably the most important thing, you can tell he's a pro athlete because he keeps calm about all the crazy shit that goes on, excuse me, and I like that. So with that, let me turn you over to Tony. He's going to walk you guys through a presentation. Hopefully we can get it done in about 20 minutes, 25 minutes at the most, and then I'll close out the call. But Tony, why don't you go ahead and jump on then?
Thanks so much. Appreciate the introduction, Bob. Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, perfect.
Wonderful. Well, I want to let everyone know I'm very excited to be a part of the Trip Delivers family. I flew out to Las Vegas not that long ago. We kind of connected through a business partner that I'd had over the years in the network marketing field. I got started in that industry in December 7th of 2000. So it's been a pretty good run in networking, and have built teams, I guess, over the last few years in a couple different companies, over 300,000 people worldwide. So I had a pretty strong background in team building, training, building networks, and then diversified into other traditional businesses. And as Bob said, we kind of backdoored our way into restaurant delivery. We owned restaurants, and then we wanted to do delivery for our own restaurant. And there was no delivery service in our city. And so we ended up starting our own. And 2.5 years later, because of our background in networking, we had a lot of contacts that we could reach out to, entrepreneurial-minded individuals. And we were in 300 cities delivering within about 2.5 to 3 years. And we sold a third of the business a couple of years ago. And then we merged, as Bob said, with delivery.com July 7th of this year. And that's gone really well. But what Bob has really envisioned in his team with Amy and Evelyn and those guys with Trip Delivers is really a way to disrupt the industry. And it was something that got me excited about what they were doing. And there was just a lot of synergy in what they were looking to accomplish and some of the things that we had done. And we realized there were ways to improve upon the industry as a whole. And so, really one of my goals was to help Trip create a track for all of us to run on, where we could go out and acquire drivers, restaurants, customers, and really build a massive income for ourselves, for our team members. And so I want to go through some of the things we've put together. We're going to be pretty brief this evening. We're going to do some trainings more in depth on some of the information that I share with you tonight, but I just want to kind of give you guys a little bit of an overview. So I'm going to share my screen real quick, and we'll get into a little bit of the presentation that we've put together. And I'm not going to do a presentation tonight. I will in the future. We'll do a recording here over the next 48, 72 hours, recording of the presentation just for folks that want to, kind of watch over it. And, obviously as you present yourself, you can, kind of throw your story into any type of presentation when you're recruiting and building an organization. What I tell people when we do a presentation, we want to keep things pretty simple. There's three things that we want our prospects to be thinking as we present. One, this is simple. Two, this works. And three, I think I can do this. And that's really what our goal is to put together for everybody. We start out with a little bit of information on the company, a little background on Trip Delivers, and a little bit about the industry as well as a whole. We want to share with people that we're in an industry that's booming right now. Digital ordering is growing 300% faster than in restaurant. Forbes magazine projects by 2025, we're going to be looking at a $200+ billion industry. And anytime you can get involved in an industry that's growing leaps and bounds, that obviously creates massive opportunities. There's multiple billion-dollar players within the industry, the DoorDashes, the Grubhubs, the Uber Eats, Postmates. Then you've got kind of the multi-hundred million plus players, which are not small by any means, Waiter, Delivery.com, Eat Street, Caviar. And the opportunity as we go through presenting this information is, they're really all doing the same thing. And there's nothing wrong with doing the same thing until somebody finds a way better way to do it. And that's really what Bob and his team at Trip Delivers are putting together for us, is we're offering the ability to disrupt a massive industry that's going through a lot of growth. And because these guys are doing things the same way, just kind of status quo, they do end up with restaurants that are paying a lot more in fees than they'd like to. They've got drivers that are earning a lot less than they would like to, not very transparent with the fees. And they've got a lot of customer service issues with late orders, wrong orders. And the bottom line is they get a lot of unhappy restaurants, unhappy drivers, and unhappy customers, which creates an opportunity to disrupt the industry. And that's where Trip Delivers comes in. Their whole mission statement is happy restaurants, happy drivers, happy customers. And there's a way that they're strategically placing themselves to disrupt the industry. The main thing, really, when you look at the restaurant partnerships and you look at traditional companies in the industry, the big four, so to speak, when you look at these companies are charging a typical restaurant that's doing 20 orders a day with around a $40 average order, they're looking at almost $100,000 in fees on an annual basis, which is massive. And when you look at Trip Delivers, we can save people almost a little over just under $85,000 a year by doing the same thing. I mean, it's not like the delivery business is doing anything different. The customer orders, the food gets made, the driver picks it up and takes it to the customer. So it's really the same process, but when you can save the average restaurant $80,000+ a year, there's no doubt they're going to want to partner up with Trip Delivers before they'd want to partner up and push Uber Eats, DoorDash, Grubhub. And the bottom line, they can still deliver with those guys, but who are they going to press? Who are they going to do co-marketing with? Whoever pays them the most money. And that's where Trip comes in. Not only do the restaurants have a much better deal, but the drivers with Trip, they really do own their own business. They got their own merchant account. They get paid instantly. Our customers don't have any hidden service fees. With some of the DoorDashes of the world, the Grubhubs, they're looking at 3 to even 30% upwards of hidden fees, depending on what restaurants they order from. And so there's a lot of massive advantages that Trip Delivers has. The team is one of the main advantages. Obviously, when you've got a team of executives that have created multiple billion-dollar companies that really specialize in market disruption and creating viral growth, we have the opportunity to really create a paradigm shift within the restaurant delivery industry. Getting started is pretty simple. As we're presenting this to prospects, one of the easiest things they can do is just become a free customer, and they can actually earn income by referring other free customers. They can refer drivers, they can refer restaurants at no cost. And so there's no barriers of entry into our company, which makes things really simple to go out and start to build an organization of people that can spread the word about the Trip Delivers family. Obviously, we've got the ability to bring on side hustle drivers that can start earning income driving and the tips, the delivery fees, and then they can also refer restaurants, they can refer other drivers, they can refer customers. We've got the pro drivers that can do unlimited drivers a month. They make a little bit more on commissions for their referrals. And then we are launching a new position, and it's coming in the next couple of weeks, but Bob gave me the go ahead to kind of share a little bit of information about our marketer position. And that's the most lucrative compensation structure. And we'll go through the compensation plan pretty briefly tonight, but we will run some trainings that we go in depth. But a marketer also it gets a replicated website that'll be included. The Verb marketing program platform will be included, the round robin lead generator program. And we're going to be generating a lot of driver leads, restaurant leads, and those are going to be divvied out in the markets to the top marketers in those markets. So it's going to, basically help them create entire lead generation systems for the marketers. And to go through that, it's a $399.99 annual fee that the trip marketers pay. They earn 50% off their Connects one referral, similar to like a pro driver, but they get 15% on Connect 2. So that's a raise over a pro driver. And they earn the third connection level, basically a 5% override off of the Connect 3s. And so any pro driver, any side hustle driver, any free customer, any brand new person, anyone can become a trip marketer. So if you look at the compensation, if you look at that payout percentages and you say, well, I'd like to get paid more for doing the same things, you can actually upgrade to a marketer. That's going to be available here in the next few weeks. I believe 1 to 2 weeks, we should have that available. We'll obviously be spreading the word as soon as that's live and people can upgrade their positions at any time. Going through the compensation we present, there's really only 4 ways to earn, I guess, outside of being a driver and earning your delivery fees and your tips. From a business standpoint, you can refer restaurants, you can refer drivers, you can refer customers, and you can refer marketers to the Trip Deliveries family. And the way our compensation works, again, I'm not going to go in depth into this, but just kind of a brief overview. You get paid per order commissions, monthly commissions, annual commissions, and we have the team building Connect 2 and Connect 3 overrides. So we break down our Connect 1 order commissions, for example, whether you're a free customer all the way up to a marketer, the higher your position ranking, the more you're going to get paid. So if a marketer introduces a restaurant to the Trip Deliveries family and onboards them, they're going to make 40 cents every time an order goes through that restaurant. If they refer a customer, they're making 40 cents off that customer. And that can add up. If you refer 10 restaurants that are doing an average of 20 deliveries a day, that's 6,000 orders per month. And if you're making 40 cents an order, that's $2,400 a month in income. And that's residual income. And that's the one thing that, coming from a networking background and looking at the delivery side, which I've gotten into since 2016, one of the things we noticed real quick about restaurant delivery, our retention with customers was phenomenal. We were in the 80 percentile range on a daily basis of repeat customers, and the order numbers were really stable and growing at a consistent level. You just didn't have what I call the hole in the bottom of your bucket. Almost every business, you throw customers in, and unfortunately, you've got a hole in the bottom of the bucket where they drop out over and over again. And with restaurant delivery, everybody's got to eat. And obviously with COVID, with people more reluctant to go out and about, delivery has skyrocketed. And so this is a really doable example here. So the Connect 1 order commissions you can make every time you refer restaurants, you refer customers, you can make some pretty substantial income just for the referral side on the Connect 1 per order commissions. We have the monthly commissions. If you introduce side hustle drivers or pro drivers, if you're a marketer, you're making $20 a month for every side hustle driver you refer. You're making $50 for the professional drivers. Similar example here. If you just referred 10 pro drivers, $50 a month, you're making $500 a month off of your pro drivers. Plus, if you had those 10 restaurants from the earlier example, now you're at $2,900 a month. And that is pretty stable. Like once you get to that point, once those restaurants are cranking, once those drivers are working, and you don't have to stop at 10, you can go further. And listen, you don't have to get to 10 either. You can run your race at your pace, so to speak, with Trip Delivers. If you want to, bring in a couple restaurants, a couple drivers, and that's it, that's fine. You're still going to get paid. If you want to do 50 restaurants, I mean, we've got someone that's personally introduced, I believe, 50 to 60 restaurants in about a week. And so you don't have to stop at 10 either. So there's people who are doing a lot more than 10, but you kind of figure out what your goals are. And our job is really not to set your goals. Our job is to help you achieve your goals. The annual commissions come in if you refer marketers. If you refer restaurants, they have their activation fee and their membership fee. And you can make as a marketer $200 annually for referring other marketers. And no matter who you are, a free customer, side hustle driver, pro driver, marketer, you can make $50 for every restaurant that activates and $50 for everyone that decides to pay the membership fee. And instead of paying $3 per order, they can pay a $2 flat rate per order. If you introduce 10 member restaurants with the activation fee and they become members as well, that's an extra $1,000. If you did that your first month, you'd have that $2,900 that you built in residual plus $1,000 for these annual commissions, $3,900 first month. There's good money, really strong money to be made, especially in an economy right now where people are looking to make extra income. The Connect commissions, I'm not going to go in depth into these. The free customers, the side hustle drivers, anyone you bring in, if you bring in a driver, if you bring in a side hustle, you can make a percentage off of those connections. Once you get to pro driver, you start getting what we call Connect 2 overrides. So if you introduce me as a pro driver and I bring in my sister as a pro driver, now you're making 5% off of her membership monthly fee to be a pro driver. If I introduce a restaurant, you're getting that Connect 2 fee off of my restaurants. So the bottom line is there's more to be made, not only off your own referrals, but as you start to build an organization. Marketers get actually a third Connect. So you get 50% off your Connect 1, 15% off your Connect 2, and you can make 5% off your Connect 3. So to do a Connect 2 and 3 example real quick, if you had 3 Connect 2 marketers and they each got 10 pro drivers and 10 restaurants. So on your Connect 2, you'd have a total of 30 drivers and 30 restaurants. And you'd basically be making about $450 a month off the drivers. Off the restaurants, you'd be making about $1,800. So with the drivers and restaurants, $1,800. Then if you look at Connect 3, making 5%. So on top of the $1,800 from your Connect 2, you'd have 9 Connect 3 marketers. If they each got 10 drivers, 10 restaurants, you'd have 90 total on your Connect 3. That adds up pretty quickly. That'd create an extra $2,700, give or take. The bottom line is we can look at, the $5,400 off your Connect 2 and Connect 3 totals, plus your Connect 1 residuals at $2,900. Now we've got someone that their residual income's in the neighborhood of $8,300 per month. There's substantial income to be made in this industry. I know it. We built a pretty massive business starting from scratch. Within 2.5 years, 300 cities, millions and millions of dollars a month in deliveries. And it's one of those things where it was really stable. It still is stable to this day, but I believe Trip Delivers has positioned themselves to really disrupt this industry. And we're going to teach and train every single one of you everything you need to know to go out and be able to build a restaurant referral organization, to go out and build an army of drivers out there that you refer, or if you're looking to recruit, manage, and train a group of marketers that can go out there and grab restaurants, drivers, and customers. We're going to teach you and train you every step of the way. Comp plan, I'm not going to go too in depth, but we finished out the comp plan. We've got all the details and we'll share this with you. It'll be in the back office. Again, pretty simple, 4 ways to earn. Referring restaurants, drivers, customers, marketers, different levels that you can come in and partner with Trip Delivers at, whether it's the free customer all the way up to the marketer. This goes through the each commission level for whatever you do as a free customer, whatever you do as a side hustle driver. It shows you what you make for these activities, these referrals. If you're a pro driver, and if you're a pro driver on your Connect 2, it shows you what you make. If you're a marketer on your Connect 1, the Connect 2 what you'll earn, and then the Connect 3 what you earn. And so we've got that broken down in the compensation. Restaurant acquisition is really key. That's one of the most lucrative things you can do within the Trip Delivers family is acquire restaurant partners. I'm not going to go too in depth into this, but this is something that we kind of helped build for the Trip Delivers team. We've got a couple different one-page documents that really break down how to sell your idea of Trip Delivers to a restaurant owner. It tells them a little bit about the company, what we do, how everything works. It kind of breaks down in-house dining, their profit margins versus delivery dining with Trip Delivers, and why it's more lucrative for a delivery customer than for an in-house customer for a restaurant. And it's kind of common sense, but a lot of restaurant owners don't realize, their chef, whether they make 1 hamburger or 100 hamburgers, if they're paying them $15 an hour, that chef's getting $15 an hour. And so if there's not people walking into that restaurant to order hamburgers, and we can market and bring an entire organization, an entire team of people referring customers that they never have going on and ordering from their restaurant, and all of a sudden this new customer base is ordering hundreds of hamburgers, then that chef is still making the same fee, but now you're selling so much more food, your income goes way up, your revenue goes way up, and your profits go way up as a restaurant owner. So this sheet really breaks that down, and we're going to run a video training where I'll go through this sheet with you step by step so you understand how to explain this to the restaurant owners. We have a competition sheet that kind of goes through why Trip Delivers versus Uber Eats, DoorDash, Postmates, Grubhub. These guys are literally looking at ways to create about a 30-35% profit margin for the restaurant, which is not bad, but Trip Delivers will help them create nearly a 64% average order. It's actually above 64%. So if you're a restaurant owner and you have a choice to make 35% on a $40 order, or you can make 64% on a $40 order, you don't have to be a math wizard to know 64% of that $40 order is going to put a lot more money in the restaurant owner's pocket. And so we have this broken down for you so you can utilize these tools. You can share this with restaurant owners. We're going to have videos that you can show the restaurant owner that's going to explain this to them. So if you want to explain it yourself, holding the 2 pages of documents, or if you want to just share a video with them on your iPad or your smartphone, you'll be able to utilize these tools to go out and bring on restaurants and to bring on drivers and customers into the Trip Delivery family. The last thing I want to kind of close up with before I pass this back on to our CEO and fearless leader is really the idea and the philosophy of staying in the money-making activities, what we call phase 1 within the industry. Phase 1 is pretty simple. That's when you're doing things that will put money in your pocket and in your bank account. Phase 1 is where most people should spend most of their time in their business. As your organization grows, phase 2 kind of means, you're overseeing some of your marketers and your pro drivers. Phase 3 is kind of overseeing the overseers, and phase 4 is pretty much you're retired. We're a young enough company that for the next year or two, all of us should be in phase 1. We're literally for at least 6 to 12 months, everyone that's watching this overview and for the next few months that's watching every presentation, every training we do, should spend as much time in phase 1 activities as humanly possible. And it's pretty simple. These make you money. If you're a driver, side hustle, a pro driver, delivering an order will put money in your pocket. We've got drivers with our company that make well over $1,000 a week. And the bottom line is there's great money to be made delivering orders for Trip Delivers. And on average, you make more money as a Trip Delivers driver than you would driving for my company. And the bottom line is, when drivers can make more money, they're happier, they're better with customer service, and it's a better story. It's easier to refer other drivers when you're getting paid more than anyone else in the industry is paying. When you're referring a new customer, you make a percentage. Every time that customer goes on and places an order, that's your customer. They're referred through you. you've got them, you make a piece of their order every single time they order. So that's a money-making activity. Referring restaurants, you make the activation fee commission, you make the membership fee commission. You also make a per order commission every time the restaurant fulfills an order and the delivery driver for Trip picks it up and delivers it. And so these are money-making activities. Referring a driver, every time they pay their monthly fee, you're getting a commission off of that. If you're a marketer, you're making 50%. If you're a pro driver, you're making 50%. And so referring drivers and referring other marketers, that's another very lucrative thing you can do. You make a commission off of those marketers when they pay their annual marketing fee. Plus, with the drivers, the marketers, the customers, you got the ability to earn those Connect 2, those Connect 3 fees, which can really add up as you start to spread the word and build your organization. So our goal here, guys, again, is really to create a track for everyone to run on, to really help people win in the restaurant delivery space. It's a simple business. And I've always broken down any company I've built, any business I've built into its simplest form. We have hungry people. We've got restaurants that make food and they don't want to go out and eat. So we need to get drivers to pick up the food and bring it to the hungry people. That's a simple concept, but there are some key activities that we can take to make that concept really work for ourselves and to really create a massive generational income for ourselves and for our families for many years to come. It's an amazing industry that's really at the forefront right now. It's going to grow faster than it's ever grown over the next 24 to 36 months. So timing and positioning is really everything in business. And you couldn't be at a better place at a better time than partnering up with someone like Trip Delivers and someone like Bob, who has really got the vision to lead us into a disruption of this entire multiple billion-dollar industry. And if we can lock onto his belt loop and just follow him to the promised land, a lot of us are going to create wealth that literally we never even dreamed was possible. So we appreciate each and every one of you sharing some of your time with us to kind of see what we're putting together, the tools that we're building. We're going to have several videos coming out over the next few days. The marketer position that was really Bob's brainchild, that's going to get people, the amount of income the marketer is going to make is going to be so substantial. People are going to absolutely flip out. It's going to be life-changing income for a lot of people. So that's really all I have to share with you guys. I want to pass it over to our CEO, fearless leader, a gentleman that's become a very good friend of mine in a short time, and he's already become a mentor of mine. Just really, you meet certain people and you kind of realize that, you know, when you're in business, you kind of operate, and some of us operate at a pretty high level. And then you meet someone that operates at a whole different level, and they're sharing things with you that you're like, man, I didn't think about that. I didn't realize that. I didn't know that was possible. And time again, when I sit down with him, when I chat with him, there's just enlightenment. There's things that I didn't look for. There's things that I didn't see as possible that now I know not only are they possible, but we're actually going to do this. And so he's somebody that in a short period of time has already become an amazing mentor to me. And I know he's mentored a lot of you guys, some of you guys maybe for several years. So I can't think of anybody better to have steering our ship than our CEO. So I'll pass it back over to you, Bob. And thanks again for really putting this vision together for all of us.
Thanks, Tony. Amazing presentation, man. It's spot on, very professional. I know everybody that's on this call right now is blown away with your expertise, your background, your ability to communicate. And to me, that's what we've been lacking in the field, which is leadership. And you're going to provide that, you know, time and time again. And it's just a pleasure. Yeah, I was telling Amy just the other day, you know, because we've been working together and doing everything, but you've been doing most of the work. I've been just kind of talking, you know. I have to tell you guys, Tony is a worker. He's not afraid to get in the middle of the mix and dig it out, make it work. And probably that's why I gravitate to people like Tony, because he's he's still an athlete, but he was a former professional tennis player. The discipline you need to play a professional sport at that level is beyond comprehension unless you've been there. But to me, I understand it And that's what gravitated me to Tony, because it was his natural ability to be a professional athlete. He carries that same discipline into business. If you do that, you win. It's not a question, can I win? It's no, you win. Then it just depends on how much do you win, right? It just, if you get better and better at what you're doing. So Tony is exactly what this company needed to get us on a professional footing, to get the field. You got to remember, we're a referral marketing company, influencer company. So that takes skilled leadership to get people motivated and find the ones that are going to get in front of the game and get out there. But they'll bring the other ones. So, you have A players, B players. You have those people in the mix all the time. The A players should be mentoring the B players. The B players, if there's a C player, help that guy out. It all comes back to pay you at the end of the day. This compensation plan is so explosive that we put together, and Tony's been part of this conversation, over the last 3-4 weeks, and helping us, really get it right. And I got to tell you, I'm just fired up, man. Watching you, dude, I'm like this. So everybody should give Tony a hand. So, yeah, they are over here. So, a couple of things so everybody gets a little clarity, because there seems to be some confusion about how a driver pays. So if you're a driver with us, you go through the process, you sign up, you go through the normal kinds of things. Usually get, now with everything's hitting all 8 cylinders, you'll get approved through the whole thing in about 8 minutes, and you're ready to go. You pay $1, that's it. Okay, that dollar locks you in either to a pro driver or to a side hustle driver. And then you don't pay your monthly till 30 days after you're driving. So you paid your monthly, but if you're in a market that's not open, obviously you're not driving. But when we open the market, then you start driving, you start getting commissions daily into your bank account through the merchant account you have. We do not touch your money. We do not take your money. You get that 100%. So you're going to drive for a month, get all your money daily, get your tips daily. And at the end of the month is when we're going to charge you. So you basically drive free for 30 days. You're collecting all the money, and we are dependent upon you paying us at the end of those 30 days because you liked what you had. It's a pretty easy strategy, but there's a lot of confusion about that. That's why I wanted to mention it to everybody. And it's in the documents, and you'll see it also. Some of the other things that Tony worked on are videos, and I've got all the scripts that are out now, getting going on those. Couple of things too. I always like, as edifying Tony, we have a lot of people in our company that are skilled at different levels, and a couple of them are on the call right now, besides Art Richardson, who's on the call. But I want to give a shout out to Evelyn, who's been phenomenal. She's an A player by far. And we have other A players, Shanna, who's been amazing. She does training. She's been with other delivery companies. She's very skilled. She's very, very smart. And so she just does amazing job. And then we also have Amanda, who's running the social media marketing now. So she's tagging restaurants, working with them, and she's on the game. She just took that over in the last 2 weeks or 3 weeks. She's tripled the amount of people that are on watching us and linking back and all that kind of stuff. So she's on the game. Norma Marie's been here for 2 years, and Norma Marie is amazing also. She works in customer service, but she's great. She does also the Spanish trainings. And then Courtney, who runs the restaurant side of the business, she's also very, very smart. All these ladies here, which is kind of interesting, they're all got different skill sets, but they're all very, very smart. And the most important thing is they all care about you being successful in the field. They want to make sure that your experience on customer service is taken care of. They want to make sure that you know that you're being taken care of. They don't want you to have to think about, oh, I'm just some other guy's calling up's got a problem. They are amazing people, and I want you to know that. So that's been good. Nashville, somebody said, is Nashville open on one of the things? Nashville's been open. We're not where we want to be. We have over 100 menus up right now, and we're doing all the right stuff. We're bringing on more drivers. We're bringing on pretty soon. We're going to start working with some influencers there. In fact, I think tomorrow we're going to be working with Jesse LaBelle, who's a country singer down there who we know. He's done a couple events for us. He's open for Garth Brooks. He's got about 45,000 followers. So we're going to do some stuff with him on influencer marketing. We have another young lady I think we're going to be working with in the Nashville market also, who is on The Voice, very well known. And so we're just going to keep working this. And then as we start seeing momentum in these other markets, then we'll make a decision on what markets and how we're going to focus on them and get them up and running. And that's really going to be, Tony and myself really looking at markets. It's a pleasure having somebody that's got skill sets that I don't have. So I like it because I can learn, and it helps me out with what I'm doing. There's a couple other new people that have started working with us also that are going to help in the field, recruiting, bringing on restaurants and things like that. And I won't mention their names right now. I'll probably have one of them on one of the calls next week, introduce him then. But he's been very helpful in identifying opportunities out there with these ghost warehouses. And I also want to give a big shout out to Eris, who's on. Eris is a quiet kind of guy. He texts me a lot, but he's very effective. And he's the one that's brought the ghost restaurants to us. So he doesn't brag about what he does, but he does it very quietly and very smartly. So with that, I think, let's see how we've been on 41 minutes. So I think we're good. We're going to start posting all this stuff up in the back office over the next couple of days. We'll be back at you on Saturday morning for coffee if you guys want to jump on. You can do Q&A there with me. I always like to get questions. You guys challenge me. That's what I like. So it keeps me busy. So with that, Tony, you want to say goodnight or?
No, I think you've covered everything. Definitely excited to be a part of the Trip Delivers family. Excited to really, watch this company disrupt the industry, and it's ripe for disruption. There's a lot of room for companies to get knocked out, and there's some big ones that we're going to go head to head with, and there's nothing more fun than going head to head with Goliath, and we've got our slingshots ready to go. So I'm excited.
Exactly. This came up in I did a podcast couple this week, and I said, look, if we were a normal delivery company, you'd have to shoot me to be in this space because there's no way you could compete.
Yeah.
None. You just don't have enough money.
Right.
Well, the only way to compete is really have true disruption. And I'll tell you a quick story. And I'm not going to tell you who said it, but I was on a call yesterday and we were talking about our business model with a significant chain of restaurants. And the guy said to me on the call, he said, he saw our whole model. We talked 30 minutes or so, loved it. And then he opened up and he said, yeah, by the way, we just got a quote in from Uber Eats on a flat fee basis. And he started laughing. He said, they can't compete. He said, they're not even close to your model. And I said, yeah, that's why we're doing it. I said, everybody on this call has to understand how much momentum means. Momentum, you can feel it coming, man. You can feel it when it's happening. It's like watching a football game and you see a team that's up by 15 points, and then the guy that's down 15 all of a sudden catches momentum and he's killing it. And it's hard to stop. It's all the adrenaline rush that goes through your body, your mind, all that kind of stuff. Same thing here. If you commit to doing this because either you want a bigger income, you want to take care of your family, or you just want residual income or any of that stuff, as you start to build momentum, it takes energy. You have to get into it and you have to go work. But when you do and you get your first taste, you will not stop. Trust me. I haven't stopped in 50 years almost because I love this stuff. So I guess that's what keeps me rocking every day. I'm sure, Tony's the same way, and we're getting a good balance of management in the company now, at the level internally, externally. We just got to keep building that, finding new leaders, finding new people. You guys need to start waking everybody up that you've ever brought in this company and say, hey, you're going to miss the opportunity of a lifetime. Get re-engaged. And that's up to you guys. And then Tony and myself, we're going to start bringing new people in also to help you guys. We're going to bring new leaders, A players, B players, C players in that are going to help everybody. And keep in mind, if you start bringing those people in, they belong to you. So that's about all I got to say, my friend. Thank you. You're the best.
Thank you, Bob.
You're
Appreciate it.
dynamite. Good night, everybody. I'll see you Saturday morning, 9 o'clock. Coffee.